Hey guys, today we have my last empties video of 2022. I've been saving up these empties for almost 3 months now, so I have a lot to get through, a lot of makeup this time, which is always very exciting. You know the drill, I'm going to be letting you know my thoughts on all these things, whether or not I think I would repurchase them. It's always just really satisfying to see a bunch of empty, used up products. My goal is always to use up anything that comes into my life, so it makes me feel very accomplished to actually go through an entire beauty product. I'd love to have you subscribe if you are into content surrounding using up and using what you have. Also coming up, I will have my 2022 makeup empties video where I show you all of the makeup that I used up this year. One of my favorite videos to film at the end of every year, so definitely subscribe if you don't want to miss that one. That'll be coming in the next week or so. I'm just going to go in no particular order. That's kind of how I like to do these because I just enjoy the randomness of it. So let me just get this big one out of the way. This is the Dial Spring Water Hydrating Body Wash. If you didn't know, Dial recently went cruelty free earlier this year, and we've been using their body washes pretty much ever since. They're so inexpensive, and I really like these big jumbo sizes. They last a really long time. Honestly, this one mostly was Nathan's empty. He used most of this up because I have been using the Soap and Glory body wash that I got recently. The body wash itself is fine, but this particular scent I didn't really care for. There's nothing wrong with it necessarily. The spring water scent, I would just describe this scent as overwhelmingly generic. Like, it just smells like the most standard body wash scent that you would get from the dollar store. I don't think all of the Dial body washes are like that. I think it's really just this one. So I probably wouldn't get this scent again, but I did really like I think it was called Silk and Magnolia one. That one was better. They also make a fragrance-free one. So big fan of these body washes, just not so much this scent. All right, this is a makeup empty. We have the e.l.f. Sheer Tint Finishing Powder, and I had this in the shade Fair Light. I think this has been discontinued. I think they still sell it in one of the deeper shades, but it seems like they're phasing this one out. I liked this powder, but I don't like it as much as the e.l.f. Halo Glow Setting Powder. I think that is the best powder that they make. This one was good. It had a light amount of coverage. It was pretty mattifying and smoothing. The only thing I didn't like about this was the shade was just a little bit too deep for me. So even if this were still available, I probably wouldn't repurchase this exact one. I do like the CoverGirl Clean Fresh pressed powder better than this one. If you're looking for a good drugstore pressed powder, that's the one I recommend. Okay, I have lost track of how many of these I've used up over the years. We're probably at like 10 now. This is my go-to deodorant. It's Certain Dry, and this is the Everyday Strength Solid. They make some other, like, even more heavy-duty antiperspirants, but this is the one that I use on a daily basis. It never lets me down. It keeps me from getting stinky and sweaty. It's just so reliable. The only thing I wish is that they would come out with more scents, and that's just because I like to switch up my scents sometimes. This one only comes in the Morning Fresh scent, which is a nice scent, very pleasant, very clean smelling, but I would really like to see them expand and just come out with a few more fun scents. I think that would be great. Okay, here's one of my favorite product discoveries of the year. This is the Good Molecules Instant Cleansing Balm. I'm already on my second tub of this, so I already repurchased it. I think I will probably continue to repurchase this. This is a pretty affordable cleansing balm. It's about $15 at Ulta. I really like that it comes in recyclable packaging. The number one thing that I look for in a cleansing balm is that it rinses off with just water. I don't want to have to go in with a cloth to get it all off. I don't want it to leave behind a residue. This one does such a great job. It removes all of my makeup, even heavy eye makeup. It does a fantastic job. I haven't tested it with waterproof mascara. That's just not really something that I use, but this is one of the best cleansing balms that I've tried, especially at the price point. The only other drugstore first cleanse that I have tried and liked was the Fourth Ray Beauty BFD Cleansing Oil. That one is also great, but it seems like that one is no longer sold at Ulta, so this has just been my go-to ever since then. Another makeup product here, we have the Ilia Super Serum Skin Tint. If you're a regular viewer, then you already know my love for this product. I have already repurchased it. This is the only foundation at this price point that I am loyal to. Most of the time, I don't like to spend a lot on anything, but this is an exception. Watch my 2022 makeup favorites if you want to hear my whole spiel on this and why I love it so much. I talked about it towards the beginning of that video. I don't want to bore you and repeat everything that I said in that one, but it's super lightweight, feels like a skincare product, but actually has an amazing amount of coverage. Yeah, huge fan of that. Here's a fun little mini one. This is the Dry Bar Detox Dry Shampoo. I got this as a point perk from Sephora. I liked this more than I like most aerosol dry shampoos, but I still don't think I'd repurchase it. I have a super sensitive scalp, so really the only type of dry shampoo that I can use without it irritating my scalp is a powder dry shampoo. So right now I have the one from Kristen S, and it's actually working really well for me. This one didn't irritate my scalp as badly as most other dry shampoos. Some of the worst ones for me were like the Amika Perk Up Dry Shampoo. That one wreaked havoc on my scalp. Same with the Eva NYC one. Pretty much any other aerosol dry shampoo, it's a no bueno for my scalp. This one, if I use this a few times per week, that's when I would notice it starting to cause like flakes and just irritation. But if I just used it like once per week, it didn't really cause much trouble. But for the price, I still just don't think I would want to buy the full size of this. It does smell amazing though. And it was, oh, wow, it smells so good. Drybar has the best smelling hair products. It did a good job just freshening up my hair and making my hair look clean, and it didn't feel nearly as gritty as most dry shampoos. So I do think it was a good one if you're looking for a good dry shampoo, but the full size is very, very expensive. I will go ahead and warn you of that right now. I think it's close to $30. Man, I just love filming Empties videos. They're just so much fun to me. I will never stop doing Empties videos, even if no one watches them. Luckily, they do get decent views on my channel, but even if the views dropped, I would still do them because I just can't imagine not doing them anymore. They've just always been my favorite videos, not only to film, but also to watch. Any channel that does Empties videos, I am way more likely to subscribe. Anytime I see an Empties video show up on my feed, I will click on it and watch it because I am a fiend for a good Empties video. Here's one I would not repurchase. This is the Pacifica Highest Def Hemp Fiber Brow Set. Yet another disappointing Pacifica product. I can probably count on one hand the number of Pacifica products that I've actually liked. Actually, no, I can't think of any. I can't think of any Pacifica products that I actually really liked. I did like their foundation for a while, but then once I used it up, I wasn't so into it. But just about everything that I've tried from Pacifica has been either a huge fail or just not good. This was in the shade Clear. I think they also have some tinted versions. First of all, they say it has fibers. I don't see any fibers in this. I really don't. So I don't know what that's all about. This just didn't really do anything. I feel it would just give my brows the tiniest amount of hold, but within like an hour, it felt like there was no brow gel in my brows. And I've really come to appreciate a brow gel that actually holds my brows in place because lately I really do like for my brows to have a little bit of a lifted effect. And ever since I tried the NYX Thick It Stick It Brow Gel, I can't believe I put up with this one for so long. I did use it up, but I would not repurchase it, really just because it didn't do anything. Like there was really no point in using this other than just kind of combing through my brows. The packaging was cute though. I do like the design and I think this is a really cute color, but that's about all. That's really the thing with Pacifica. Their packaging is what gets me, but the products just, they don't deliver. Okay, kind of a boring one, but I love this and I have already repurchased it. This is the EcoDent Gentle Floss. Their branding cracks me up. It looks like they designed this packaging in 1993. But the floss is really good. It's an incredible value. You get 100 yards in here, so it lasts a very long time. But really the main reason I buy this is because it comes in a paper package, and I get it on iHerb. It's pronounced iHerb, by the way, not iHerb. I learned that the last time I partnered with them. Here's a sunscreen. I actually quite enjoyed this. This is the Kapari Antioxidant Face Shield Mineral SPF 30. I got this in PR. I probably wouldn't buy it myself unless it was on like a mega sale because you actually get a pretty small amount of product in here and it's really expensive for the amount that you get. But it is one of the most elegant mineral sunscreen formulas that I've ever tried. It is very hydrating. It does give you a dewy finish, but the white cast is really minimal. There's no tint to this, but it really does blend in pretty clear on, at least on my skin tone. I'm sure on a deeper skin tone there would be a slight white cast, but out of all the mineral sunscreens that I've tried, this one had the least white cast. So I really enjoyed that. If you can get it on a good sale, I would recommend it, but it's too expensive. I just don't think sunscreen should be that expensive, so I probably won't buy it myself. A shampoo that I really didn't love, and neither did Nathan, he also used this. This is the Garnier Fructis Pure Clean Purifying Shampoo. So really by the name, I think this is meant to be a clarifying shampoo, so you really wouldn't want to use this more than once a week. I am kind of new to the world of clarifying shampoos, and I think what I've figured out is that really clarifying shampoos, they don't make your strands feel great. Usually your strands are going to feel pretty dry after you use a clarifying shampoo, but the point of using them is to remove buildup on the scalp, so you're supposed to just use them kind of on an as-needed basis, really ideally no more than once per week. And you kind of just put up with the side effect of the dry hair that day. If anyone has tried a clarifying shampoo that didn't make your hair feel like straw, let me know, because I am still on the hunt for one. But I don't know, I didn't feel like this did that great of a job at removing buildup either, so I wouldn't repurchase that. I really like the Garnier Whole Blends shampoos, specifically the Oat Delicacy one in the white bottle. That's the best one. I still haven't gotten around to repurchasing that because I keep trying different ones, but eventually I will buy that one again because it is really good and it's a great price point too. Next I have an eyeliner. This is the Flower Beauty Forever Wear Winged Liner in Dark and Stormy. I really enjoyed this eyeliner. It lasted me almost a full year. I think I opened this at the beginning, or like in January of this year, and it just now started to dry out. The thing I really loved about this was the tip. For me with a liquid eyeliner, the shape of the tip is everything. So this one does have a felt tip, and it comes to a really nice fine point there. And it also had a nice length to it and a good amount of flexibility, so I could just really easily basically like stamp on a wing with this and then fill in the rest. And I really like for a tip, whether it's a felt tip or a brush tip, I like for it to have some flexibility, not too much flexibility, but just enough to where it doesn't feel like I'm actually using like a Sharpie or something to draw on my eyeliner. Like I want to have a little bit of flexibility so that I can draw a wing more easily. To me, this had the perfect shape of tip is all I'm trying to say. And it was a nice brown too. It really was a true brown. I don't know if I would buy this again though. Not because I don't like it, but just because I think I would want to try something new. But I did think this was a good eyeliner. It's not waterproof though. That's the only thing. If the corner of your eyes water, it'll rub off really easily. But if you don't have watery eyes, you'll be fine because it does stay put in place otherwise. Okay, this one I liked, but I also don't think I would repurchase it. This is the Lawless Forget the Filler Overnight Lip Plumping Mask. It says, I guess the shade, or the scent, whatever, was called Sweet Dreams. I think they do make some other shades of this that I saw, but this was really a clear one. It looked pink, like it looked like it had a pink tint, but it really went on clear. So I used this as my nighttime lip balm. It lasted me a long time, like almost a year, I think, maybe like 10 months. I was using this almost exclusively at night. I actually did like that it had a scent to it. My other favorite lip balm, the Paula's Choice one, doesn't have a scent, which is totally fine because it doesn't need to be there. But I'm not gonna lie, I did kind of enjoy the sort of like strawberry scent of this. This had a nice texture. It did give almost like a cooling sensation to my lips, which the first time I used it, I was kind of taken aback by that. And I was worried that that was going to dry out my lips because normally anything with like a tingle or like any sort of sensation like that usually is not the best for your lips, but I was actually really pleasantly surprised by how nourishing this was on my lips. When I woke up in the morning, my lips would always feel just really nice and soft and not chapped, which is really what I'm, trying to keep at bay when I wear my nighttime lip balm. So I did enjoy this. I wouldn't mind having it again, but I'm just so loyal to the Paula's Choice Lip and Body Treatment Balm. That one is also just cheaper than this one. It's a better value, and that one is just next level. It just heals your lips instantly. So I can't see myself buying this again when I have that one as an option, but I did think it was really nice also. I enjoyed it. Finally finished up my Milani highly rated anti-gravity mascara. I mean, there is still some in here, but it's really getting dried out. It's starting to get kind of flaky, so that's when I know it's time to call it quits. But I loved this mascara so much. This is my favorite mascara. It has a nice hourglass shaped brush, but it has rubber bristles, which is really my favorite type of brush. This one gives amazing length and volume, just makes my lashes look incredible. Definitely on the more dramatic side. If you prefer something more natural looking on your lashes, you might not love this, but I was a huge fan and I can't wait to get it again. Here we have this mini e.l.f. Holy Hydration Daily Cleanser. This is a foaming cleanser, like it does lather, so I didn't use it on my face. What I used this for was after I rinsed my conditioner out of my hair, I would use this on my upper back and chest because I've noticed that I think my conditioner sometimes will cause me to get breakouts there, so I always like to cleanse that skin after I've rinsed out my conditioner. That's a pro tip if you have any like body acne. It does help. So that's what I used this for. I think Nathan also used this on his face. I think this was a gift with purchase. Probably wouldn't have a need to buy it anytime soon, but it was fine. Another e.l.f. product, the e.l.f. Hydrating Camo Concealer. I have the shade Light Ivory. Now that I've used this up, I don't really love it as much as I did when I first got it. It has really good coverage, but I think on me it's just a little bit too thick now. I prefer something a little bit lighter weight. When I first got this, I loved it. It was my favorite concealer, but at the time I really wanted a full coverage concealer. That was like my number one thing that I was looking for. And for a full coverage concealer, this is really nice and hydrating. But I think if you have more mature skin or if you have fine lines, it's not necessarily the best for that. For me, I feel like I would like the way it looked at first, but by the end of the day, I felt like my under eyes would look kind of crepey. I enjoyed it for a long time, but I feel like I've moved on now. This one is kind of bittersweet. I loved this one so much. This was the Bite Yaysayer lip gloss in Sugar Drizzle, and unfortunately Bite is no longer a brand, so I won't be able to repurchase this. The main thing I loved about this, of course, was the packaging. As I've said before, I love that you don't have to remove any sort of stopper to get all of it out of there. Very satisfying packaging for a project panner. This was really just a clear gloss with some gold shimmer to it. It was beautiful. I thought the shimmer was really nice because it didn't look like actual chunks of glitter, but it just reflected light really beautifully. It gave just like a very subtle sparkle, just kind of added to the overall shine of this. So a fond farewell to the Bite lip gloss. Another lip gloss that I used up outside of my project pan, I just used this up naturally. This is the Undone Beauty Big Papa Gloss in the shade Watercolor Rose. Really, it's a clear gloss. There's a tiny bit left in the bottom, which I will use up, but I wanted to go ahead and show it here because this will definitely be empty before the end of the year. You can see it does look sort of pink in there, but this really goes on clear. I mean, I can even show you. That is what the swatch looks like there, so it's pretty colorless. This had kind of like a watermelon scent to it that I kind of enjoyed. And this is one of those glosses that really, it's almost like a cross between a lip gloss and a lip balm. In fact, when I ran out of that Lawless lip balm that I was using for my nighttime lip balm, before I repurchased my Paula's Choice one, I didn't have any other lip balms. So I was using this as my nighttime lip balm, and it actually worked really well for that. Very nourishing. I felt like it kept my lips nice and hydrated, stayed on my lips really well. I would wake up in the morning and this would still be on there. So not only does it make a nice clear gloss, but it also really does work as a lip balm. So I enjoyed it while I had it. I don't know if I would buy it again, or maybe not this shade. I know it comes in a lot of shades. I'm not sure if they're all basically clear like this, or maybe some of them are more tinted. So yeah, it was one of those things. I enjoyed it while I had it, but I don't really think I'm going to feel the need to buy it again in the future. Last few things are just some household items, some Blue Land products. Finished up another one of their foaming hand soap tablets. This is the Perrine Lemon scent. I just feel pretty blah about Blue Land, to be honest. The scents of their hand soaps, at least this scent, was just, I could hardly even smell the lemon. It was just really, really subtle. And on top of that, the pump of our hand soap has started to stick. So, you know, when you push it down, it doesn't come back up right away. You have to kind of like pull it back up. And I had the same issue with one of their spray bottles where the little trigger would not snap back into place. It would stay stuck. So I'm going to contact them and hopefully get a replacement because I've only had it for a few months. I just feel like the quality of their packaging is not the quality I would expect for something that is supposed to be reusable. You're supposed to be able to reuse these things for a long time. And of course, a pump isn't going to last forever. I understand that you might need to replace that at some point, but for it to only last a few months, I just find that kind of aggravating. I've also been testing out the Jello refillable hand soap, and honestly, I like that better. The only thing I don't like about that one is it does come in a plastic bag, and I like that Blue Land is completely plastic free in their packaging. That's the only thing that I don't like about that one, but everything else I prefer. So I'm not opposed to getting more of the tablets from Blue Land, especially maybe some of the seasonal scents that I've seen from them. But overall, as a brand, I'm not so into them. I feel like they're just kind of, they're not awful, but they're not what I really expected. And then, speaking of Blue Land, we also finished up their laundry detergent tablets, which I had gotten, when we moved into this apartment, I got like their starter set that had, you know, hand soaps and cleaning sprays, dishwasher and laundry tablets. So we finally finished up these laundry tablets. It came in like this sort of bag, and then you could put them in this tin. I don't think I'll be buying these again. First of all, I don't think that these are a great value to buy on their own. I think there are definitely better, like more cost-effective options, but I also just didn't feel like these did the best job actually cleaning laundry, especially with towels. I do think towels are kind of like that telltale thing that they just didn't feel or like smell as fresh as they could have compared to other laundry detergents. So wasn't really that impressed with those. I don't feel like there would ever be a reason to repurchase those. For a zero waste laundry detergent, I do prefer the True Earth laundry strips. Those I felt like did a much better job actually cleaning my clothes than these did. These did an okay job. Like, it's not like my clothes were filthy coming out of the washer, but they just didn't seem quite as fresh as they would be with other detergents. Last but not least, we have a candle. This is from Binny and Claude, my favorite small candle company. They're actually, I found out about them through one of my subscribers. She and her husband run this candle business in New Jersey. They are vegan, cruelty-free candles. This was the, I think the scent of this was called Black Cat, but it was basically like a spiced apple sort of scent. Amazing scent for the fall. We actually used this up a long time ago. All of their candles are amazing. They have these bigger jars that are actually this beautiful ceramic jar that you can reuse. They also have some smaller candles that come in glass jars. I placed a big order for their like Small Business Saturday. They've also sent me a few of their candles. This one was actually one of the ones that they've sent me. I love them. They're some of the best smelling candles ever. They have a really good scent throw. And yeah, highly recommend checking them out if you're looking for a good small candle business to support. Okay, that was a pretty big empties. I think I'm going to start spreading out my empties a little bit. I really like empties videos where there's just a lot of products to go through. I find those just more fun, more satisfying to watch. So I think I'm going to start spreading these out, maybe just doing them every 2 to 3 months, maybe once a quarter, or just whenever I feel like I have just a lot of stuff that I'm ready to like let go of it, put it in the recycle bin. So I'll probably just start doing these like a little bit more spread out, and that way we can just have more products to talk about in these videos. But thank you so much for hanging out with me today. I hope you had fun. If you did, be sure to give the video a thumbs up and subscribe so you don't miss my future videos, and I will talk to you very soon in my next video. Bye.